Well, hi, I'm Doc Miles, back again, and I'm here to talk today about the magnificent camera in Lightroom CC for the iPhone. So when I'm out with my clients, I normally don't take a camera with me. I'm there for them, help them get good shots. So I do my shooting with my iPhone, and I shoot from the camera in Lightroom CC for the iPhone. This camera will shoot raw and get you some great photographs. Also, you can edit it right there, and it syncs with all your other devices immediately. So when you get home, all your edits are still there, and most of the things in Lightroom CC for the phone are the same ones that are in Lightroom CC for the desktop, and you have all those features right in the palm of your hand. So I'm going to show you today how to use this camera and how to get the best results out of it. So let's jump right in. Okay, so we're going to jump right into this, and I'm going to show you how to use the camera that comes with Lightroom CC. The reason I like this camera is because it shoots raw, and that way you can adjust a lot more, you get a lot more tonal range out of your photographs, you can make much better adjustments, and the fact that Lightroom CC for your mobile phone also has all the features, most 99% of the features that Lightroom Classic and Lightroom CC have. So let's jump right into it. But before I begin, I want to show you one thing that's going to help when you want to sync your photographs with all your other devices. Now these are called albums, and I have quite a few, as you can see. If you shoot straight with the camera and don't select an album, it's going to go to all photos. That will not sync on your computer, your iPad, or your other devices. But if you select an album, and these albums used to be called collections, by the way. So for this example, I'm going to select Tour Shots 2. These are some shots I took last night while out on tour. Now I'm in this album. When I shoot in this album, everything that's in this album will sync with the same album that's on my computer. If you don't have that album set up on your computer, that's okay, because it will also sync the album. So if you create an album here on your phone, then that album will now be created on your computer. And that's the real beauty of this thing, is that you're not only backing up everything, it's going up to the cloud and down to your computer, but you're also, you have the ability to make other edits when you get back to your computer. You can see it on the big screen. So here is the camera down here in the lower right hand corner, and I'm going to bring it up. Now there's my subject. It's a nice Viognier from Francis Ford Coppola Winery up in Geyserville, and you can see that I have a grid selected. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you some of the different things you can select. Pardon my finger. You can go to the ratio, which is 16.9. That's your cinema crop if you're doing it in landscape. You can go to 3:2, 4:3, which is the one I use that takes the biggest advantage of the screen. And if you're shooting for Instagram, you can shoot 1:1 or square. Over here you have the timer, 2, 5, and 10 seconds, just like you do on the iPhone camera. And this is the grid. And you can select different grids. For example, here's the golden rectangle, here's the grid with the rule of thirds, and this is the just 4 square grid, so you can line things up in the center or up in the upper quarter. So going up here, I'm going to select the regular grid for the sake of argument, and over here you have the level. Now if I hit that level just right, it turns yellow. You can see it, there you go, that's yellow, and that means it's dead level. There's a little white dot that goes up and down. That shows me that I'm not only level, but I'm level vertically and horizontally. Very good to know. This one is highlight clipping. Now over here you'll see that I've got that turned off. If I turn that on, you'll see zebra stripes. Zebra stripes reflect whatever's overexposed or way out of what's known as the color gamut, and actually the highlights are so blown out that they won't render any kind of value at all. If I lower the exposure by sliding my finger along here, I can eventually get rid of those zebra stripes. If I put it all the way up, everything is out of focus. And you can see down here at the bottom that that's how much exposure compensation I'm getting. So I'm going to leave that on. Then I go over here to the other gear and leave max screen brightness on. geotag the photos, and for high dynamic range photos, which I'll get into in a minute, you want to save the unprocessed original, because that may be a photo you want to manipulate some other time. That takes care of the settings. And now let's go through the different modes. You have the telephoto mode, which I'm in right now, and the wide angle mode. There's the telephoto mode. And then this is your different scenes. If you want to create them, you can do black and white. This is very similar to the iPhone photo. It's just basically almost the same thing. And then you have the focus light lock right here. That means you've locked the focus in, you've locked the light, you've locked all the settings right down. The next mode is called the professional mode. Now over here you can adjust the exposure just like you can, but you can see the slider moving along and it tells you how much you're overexposed or underexposed. You can also adjust the time, how long you want it to expose for. Every time you go all the way to the left, it'll select automatic for you. You can also change the ISO. Now, Camera Pro does the same thing, and Camera Pro also shoots RAW, but the beauty of this application is it's part of the Adobe Creative Cloud, and it syncs right back to your other devices. Of course, you can change the white balance just like you can on a DSLR, or a DSLR, and then you can select from the photo what white balance you want. And then say, okay, I'm happy with that. There's also an auto mode, which basically is your focus peaking. Now, see all the green? Whatever's green means that's in focus. The further away I get from anything in green, the more out of focus it is. So that's focus peaking, and that's available on some high-end DSLRs, and it comes in real handy when you're trying to figure out yourself what's in focus. And then, of course, you can reset everything. Aside from the Pro mode, you have a high dynamic range mode, which takes 3 photographs in RAW, and it blends them together just like you would in Lightroom. If you put Lightroom Classic, you put 3 photos together and blended them, that would give you the HDR result. And then this new one called long exposure, and I don't have any running water or streams to show you today, but it basically takes a series of photographs and merges them together, much like you would do in Photoshop, into blending layers and different photographs to get a motion effect. I've tried this out at the beach. It works pretty good. It works much better on running water like streams and so forth. Anywhere where you have motion that you want to get a long exposure effect for and slow things down. So there you go. That's pretty much what you have, except up here you have, of course, the selfie mode, which, there you go. There's the selfie. We'll get rid of that guy. And then you've got the flash auto on and off, just like you have in the iPhone. You'll notice up here in the corner that shoots DNG, and you can switch to JPEG if you want to, but I prefer to keep it DNG because then that is your RAW format. So that's the basics of going through the Lightroom CC camera. And I use this all the time because it's a great camera. It gives me raw photographs, and I'm able to process them either on the phone or when I get back to my computer. But generally speaking, I'll take a crack at shooting them while I'm on my phone. So that's it for right now. I hope you can use this camera and you enjoy it. And if you did, let me know in the comments below. Thank you. So there you have it. That's a brief run-through of how the Lightroom CC mobile camera works. And I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, subscribe to my YouTube channel, ring the bell below and get notifications when I have another video, and also hit the like button, and I really appreciate it. And next time we're going to cover how to process your photographs on Lightroom CC mobile. So come back and see me again. Until then, thank you.